do 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 do. Hey guys, what's up? It's Sammy. Please excuse my current makeup. I just filmed a makeup tutorial. That's why I have little stars glued to my face. So today I thought it would be fun to sort of bring you guys along through the process of how I wrote my book. My dog is taking the pillows off my bed. Lovely, it's exactly how I wanted them to look. Oh, we're not done, great. Oh darn, she chucked that. If you are confused, hello, my name is Sammy and I wrote a book. It is called The Beautiful Life of Boys and it is a love story between Brighton and Carter, a boy from LA who moves to Connecticut and suddenly comes into a family fortune and deals with becoming a rich kid and falling in love. Oh, whoa! It's a real book. You can order it on Amazon. The link is in the description. Anyways, I wrote this. Me and my best friend wrote a book together. This is it, and I'm gonna go through exactly how that happened today. For any of you wondering, or if you want to write a book yourself, I have it all written out on my phone, what we did to make this go from our brains to paper. Let's start way from the beginning. My sister just texted me what merch I'm selling. Buy my merch on Amazon. Anyways, wow, thanks for the plug, Carly. Me and Jacob always wanted to collab on something bigger than YouTube, and we wanted to do something maybe with art, but I would be the one that would have to draw it, and I'm not that good of a drawer, so then we decided on a book. Just one night on FaceTime, we were like, wanna write a book? Sure. So we came up with a layout, a theme, a plot, a chapter outline for this book that we were gonna write. And the book was about a boy who found old Civil War currency in his basement and the money ruined his life. I literally have a note on my phone that says like all that, and then at the bottom we put gay question mark. And the only plot point out of all of that stuck was that one. We wrote actually the first giant bit of this book where this kid finds this old like Civil War money in his basement and he becomes like, was it his basement or his attic? It doesn't matter. And he becomes like rich off of it. I don't know how. Jacob was the history dude on that. I just made it fluffy and cute and romantic and whatever. And then I was like, I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. So that idea went down the toilet. So basically, we had a book where a kid found money and it ruined his life for the first half of the book, and then he became happy. And then the only thing that stuck is that it was a kid from California who moved to Connecticut. So those were the only original plot points that stayed from me and Jacob's original session of the book. So the book was completely different. Next, once we actually had an idea planned out, I went in and I made a chapter outline. So basically I wrote out every single chapter, what was gonna happen in that chapter, what were the main plot points in said chapter, and like what were the things that needed to happen in this chapter in order to move the story forward. I originally only wrote out 23 of these, but as I wrote, it turned out that the book had 34 chapters. So your book's gonna change throughout the time you're writing it. That's completely okay. It made it better. Yeah, so basic outline, nothing set in stone. We made a Google Doc because we were working on this together. I will say I wrote the book. Jacob was more of the story guy in the beginning, and then the like, hey, how do you do this? What is this? Because I am not very good at writing, like English, like grammar, English class in school, that kind of stuff. I'm not really good at that. So it'd be like, hey, do I put a semicolon here? Hey, is it okay if I put a comma here? That was the type of stuff that Jacob helped me with. And our lovely editor, but I'll get into that in a second. And I sat down and I started writing the book based on the chapter treatments that I'd have. I'm also going to do a video on why you shouldn't write a book with a co-author at some point. Not to say that I didn't have a fun time writing this book with Jacob, I just think it's a little bit more difficult and I want to make a video talking about it because I've done it. For anyone thinking like, I want to write a book with my best friend, maybe think twice about that. Because me and Jacob went through some things, let me just say, when writing this book. So I wrote every single chapter in the book except for about one. Jacob did one, and it was a total random thing, but I was mainly the writer of this book. Most of it came from up here in the most part. Jacob did help me with some of it, but mostly he helped me with his baby, which is Elliot, the one character in my book, Elliot. That's Jacob's character, so most of the things that happen with Elliot were Jacob's idea. All the other characters are my babies. To give you a rough idea of how long this took, we sat down and had the initial FaceTime call in March of 2018. That is when we started writing the book. I started writing the book a week later, so mid-March, and the actual last word typed was in November of 2018. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 5, 6, 7. It took 8 months for me to write this book. 8 months for The Beautiful Life of Boys to come out of my brain onto the paper. Now, there's a reason why it took this long, and that is because some days I wrote like 6 chapters, sometimes I wrote 1 page a week. It was a really slow and weird process because I had to kind of like, the way I wanted to write the book was that I wanted real life things that happened to me in real life to go into the book in the characters' lives. So I would remember things and then be like, oh my god, I gotta put that in the book, and then I'd have to figure out a way to make it fit because I am a YouTuber. This is a YouTuber book. I wanted there to be some more personal stuff in there, which you will not be able to figure out if you don't know me in real life. But like a lot of the stuff that happens between the main character Brighton and his best friend Sid. Sid is based off of someone in my real life that I have known since I was young. So like that's like some tea right there. And then like some of the things that happen between like Carter and Brighton are based off of like interactions I've had with people in my life and like the parents and stuff like that. So like it's really like, it took me a long time to like add in those little like details, but I really like them. It means a lot to me. It might not mean anything to you, but it means a lot to me. Now, it's November. I finished the book. The book sat in that Google Doc for an entire month. I did not know what to do from here. At this point, I'm gonna do a whole separate video on this because it is hilarious. I went through so many titles and covers. But what really had me uninspired to work on the book for the whole month of November is basically because The Beautiful Life of Boys was not the original title of my book. It was actually called The Beautiful Boys. And then a movie on Amazon called Beautiful Boy came out, and I was so angry because I had had that title on my book for so long. And then I couldn't use it anymore because it was just one word and an S off from a movie that was already made, and it would mess up my search function on Amazon and on Google for actually finding the book. So that's when I came up with The Beautiful Life of Boys, and I love this title. I think it's kind of better than The Beautiful Boys. Yeah, I love it. I love my book, okay? Look at this. It's so freaking cute. There's little balloons. I love my book, okay? I did all of the like covers, dedications, ISBNs, copyright, attributions, acknowledgements. I did all of that by myself. So like I had to really Google and how to learn to do all that. Luckily there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube on how to do all that properly, so I just follow YouTube tutorials. Now after I was done with the cover, or thought so, it did go through like 8 more transformations after that, and I was done with the rough copy on the inside. I had to get an editor. Now originally I edited the book through myself, but as we know, I am not very good with grammar, so I was like, oh no. I tried to get Jacob to edit the book, but he's also not the 100% best with grammar. Neither of us are like grammar like Nazis, I guess. I know y'all are, because anytime I would post a picture of the book on Instagram, y'all were like, there's a typo on line 6, page 4, and I'm like, oh my god, I know. So I kind of put the whole editing on hold. I was like, okay, I kind of want to make the book the best it can be before I either hire an editor or whatever. So I got some beta readers. We had 3 beta readers, to be exact, I believe, that actually read the book. And one of them was my friend Kelly. And Kelly is like in college. She's like real smart. And she's like studying Korean, which is like wild. It has nothing to do with editing a book, but whatever. She somehow turned into a normal beta reader to someone who edited my entire book. We started editing the book like end of November, beginning of December, and we are still going through it on the day I am filming this, which is January 22nd. So that's like 2 months, almost 3 months that it took us to edit the book. We're currently going through it for the second time right now, but when you're seeing this, the book's already been out for like a month. So, I mean, this isn't even the finished book that I'm holding right now. This is a proof because it's not out yet. Is that weird? Did I just break the fourth wall? I don't know. So, the inside of the book is done. Kelly edited it. It's amazing. I'm sure there's probably still 1 or 2 typos, but I am doing this all myself. So if you guys find a typo, please don't point it out to me. Thank you. Please don't mention it in the Amazon reviews. Also, I'm sorry. I am one person here, okay? I'm one small writer. Can't do this. It's very hard. This is one of the most stressful things I have ever done in my life. I have had so many all-nighters. I have had so many nights where I couldn't fall asleep. I was so stressed out. I've cried. I've screamed. I've yelled. I've decided not to publish the book. I've been like, I'm just gonna publish it with all these typos. This book went through some things, okay? So at the end, when you're getting ready to publish, you have to buy an ISBN and a barcode for your book, which basically is like the identifier of your book. It makes it so that your book can be sold in brick and mortar stores and that it is its own independent thing, basically. It is this little guy right here. If you do not have an ISBN or a barcode, you basically can't publish your book, but this means like this is its own individual thing. It's not tied to one place like CreateSpace or something like that. And yeah, if this got approved by the board of Barnes & Noble, it could be in Barnes & Noble because of this ISBN in which we purchased. I also went through a lot trying to get an endorsement for the back of the book. At this current time, I don't know if I got it. So if you're reading the book and there's an endorsement on the back, wow, congrats, I got it. But if there isn't, so be it. This is my first book, maybe my second. Oh, what? Will, I think I have lipstick on my teeth. Ew. Maybe my second will have an endorsement. Endorsements, if you don't know, help your book sell. They help your book get into brick and mortar when you are independent publishing, because it basically, a lot of the times when you want your book to be put into stores, a board of people has to approve it, and they don't want to actually read your book. So if you have like an endorsement from like US Weekly or some famous author already, it's more likely that they are going to put your book in their store without reading it, because there's a source on it that basically says, this book isn't about Nazis and racism, it's sweet, from a reputable source. Basically, that's endorsements for dummies. But yeah, that is basically the life and death of my book. Death, it's not dead yet. Buy it on Amazon. That's like everything that I went through. It's more like the life and death of me, honestly. This last year was rough. I legitimately cannot believe that this is a thing that I have in my hand. When I got this copy of the book, I was so happy. Like, this was my first ever copy. It is mangled to shreds. I don't know if you can tell on video, but like, it's so dirty and disgusting because I read it like 12 times. I absolutely love my book. I hope you guys love my book because I love my book. But yeah, if this is your first time seeing our videos, please remember to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. If you have not yet checked out my book on Amazon, I do not know if I need to plug this again right now, but please go check it out. We also, bam, have these shirts for sale as merch for the book. They say Thinks and Gay because that's basically what this whole book is inside of Brighton's mind. Spoiler? I don't think so. It says it on the back. Yes, please, if you can, check out my book. It's not that expensive. I tried to make it as cheap as possible on Amazon because I just want to get the story of Brian and Carter out there, and for anyone who is young or old or who can relate to enjoy it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Flop.